a documentary.
Oh wow.
It's more like a film. It's beyond documentary. It's a little more than a documentary, and that's what that because we had to rehash our history and our lives and that and just shooting it and thinking about it. We changed so much for so many, and we're still doing it.
Oh yeah.
And it's people they when they look at people like myself, they kind of think in terms of, well, he's really famous, but it all came with a price, and that was the price, but it pays off in so many ways, like not being on Saturday Night Live, it become a plus, not a minus,
Wow.
and yeah, and I accept it. One of the things when Cheech and I just finished this movie, part of the movie they wanted some conflict between Cheech and I, and so we started digging up old wounds, like why we broke up, and it was what do you call it, soul searching, because when you think about what we had, I mean, we were locked in, but then again, because we weren't really a comedy duo in that sense, the traditional sense, like they usually each act has their own comedy act, and then they decide, well, if we team up, we can go a lot further. That wasn't us, that wasn't us. It was all sort of serendipity, kind of put together in such a kind of a freaky way that I had no control over it. Cheech never had any control over it. Nobody had any control over it. It was like the universe saying, okay, you guys, we need you. It's your turn. Get in there, and this is what you got to do, and good luck.
Right. It was meant to happen. Like there was going to be a few bumps in the road, maybe still are. Like it's been a long journey, obviously, but that's what you were meant to do. Like that's like I don't want to say your masterpiece. You've done a lot of stuff, but what you've done with Cheech, like just the chemistry you guys have and everything that you've been through. I mean, it's pretty astonishing to see what you guys have accomplished throughout the years.
Yeah, and it wasn't really for us personally.
Yeah.
Cheech sacrificed because his sacrifice, believe it or not, was his image. Because he dove into a very frowned upon by the Latino community image. That usually that it was a non-Hispanic guy would play that character, but Cheech not only played it, but he created a whole genre. He took those, the lowrider image and made it not only acceptable, but gave it some kind of cred that is still there, and because it wasn't him, that the Cheech is very well educated, and can hold his own with everybody, in the white world, so to speak, but he sacrificed, and this is what we're talking about, because we could have stayed together, and blah blah blah, but everything we did was from a very honest point. When Cheech realized that he didn't have to play that character, that he could become who he really is, then that was a sign of success for us, because with us it was never about money. we never went into it thinking, oh, you know, we're going to make a fortune, and then when we're done, you know, blah blah blah, you know. Well, just like the fight. What's the name? Mary Mayweather fight.
Right.
You know? I mean, all they're doing now is just cashing in on the publicity and the glory. You know,
Right.
like Tyson could have done that had he not bit Holyfield's ear. you know. I mean, that could have been Tyson's thing. You know, but Tyson, you know, he's like Cheech Chong. He's a wild man.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he was there just for, you know, until you know what I told people, and I still maintain. You know, why did you guys break up? I did this in an act, and my answer was, we got rich. And the truth is, you can't make a rich Mexican do shit. And you know, I'd say, Cheech, come on, we got to work. Say, I don't think so, man. You know, I'm going to stay here and do something for my people. Yeah, I'm going to learn Spanish. And it got a big laugh, but so true in so many ways.
Oh my
you know.
God, for sure.